I'm Lily.
Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Olivia.
And I'm Sarah. For our math project, we wanted to do something relevant to grant students.
So we wanted to do a study related to attendance.
But gathering data did not work out very well.
In high school, most teens are very aware and concerned with their social standings.
And GPA and popularity are two of the most prominent indicators.
So we decided to do a multiple regression test on how a variety of factors influence GPA.
These variables we surveyed people about were hours spent working per week, hours spent studying per week, hours spent consuming media per day, number of extracurriculars, number of close friends, and where they would rank their popularity on a scale of 1 to 10. Our question was, how do these factors influence GPA for Grant High School seniors?
Our method of collecting data was an online survey through Google Forms. We posted this survey in our GHS senior Facebook group because we only wanted to survey Grant seniors. Because underclassmen,
They don't matter. We had 43 responses, meaning N equals 43.
our null hypothesis was rho equals 0, or no correlation. Our alternative hypothesis was rho does not equal 0. Remember kids, there's no claim in regression.
We gathered all our responses in Google Sheets and ran a multiple regression test which produced an Excel minor ANOVA table.
This table gave us our F and P values. We ran the Excel minor linear regression test with a confidence level of 95%, meaning our alpha was 0.05. We divided alpha by 2 because an F-curve for regression is always two-tailed, giving us 0.025 in each tail. Next, we crunched the numbers.
Ultimately, we failed to reject our null hypothesis.
And here's our statement. There is not enough evidence to suggest a significant correlation between GPA and hours spent working per week, hours spent studying per week, hours spent consuming media per day, number of extracurriculars, number of close friends, and where they would rank their popularity on a scale of 1 to 10.
Since we couldn't prove correlation in the first test, we decided to do a different multiple regression test using a new dependent variable. This time we used popularity as our dependent variable and all the other variables as our independents, including GPA. We started by finding both DF1 and DF2, and then used alpha of 0.05 to find the critical values. The first one being 1.936 and the second one 0.518. Found our F value from the ANOVA table, and by looking at the F value we could see that it was not in the critical tails, so we failed to reject our null hypothesis. Then we wrote out our equation. Again, we failed to reject our null hypothesis. And our statement was, there is not enough evidence to suggest a significant correlation between popularity and GPA, hours working per week, hours spent studying per week, hours spent consuming media per day, number of extracurricular activities, and number of close friends.
Unfortunately, we screwed up a little bit in our project. We had a convenience bias in our survey since we only surveyed people we knew well or had easy access to. And since we only surveyed people from Grant, we didn't get very many people with low GPAs. Great for Grant, but not great for our survey. We also had to work under time constraints since our first two ideas for a project failed to be testable.
So we're pretty bummed that we weren't able to prove any correlation, but here's why we think it might have turned out that way.
The way we worded our survey might have influenced how people responded.
Also, many people react differently in similar situations.
One person may be able to handle a really large workload and still maintain a high GPA, while another kid may not be able to handle that.
Throughout our project, we struggled to collect data that we needed. We had a few ideas that didn't really work out quite as we planned, so we had to have a few setbacks. Overall though, after collecting the data that we did around popularity and students' GPA and the factors that may contribute to their GPA, we found that none of the independent variables had any real correlation to the dependent variable. In retrospect, our hypothesis did not match our conclusion, but we did get a good understanding of how topics correlate to each other.
Or don't. Overall, we feel that this was a successful investigation of GPA and popularity.
Even if we didn't get a more strong correlation like we hoped.
This project also let us utilize statistics in the real world, which made this classroom a whole lot more worthwhile.
Thank you, Miss Webb and Miss Wolfer!